Alright, it is time for the final limited time series of version 7.5, and it is for Lamborghini Aventador. And of course this car is one of the older cars, so it's not a new one. It's been in the game for quite some time now, and so much so this car you can purchase with racing dollars. I know, when was the last time we had a racing dollar purchase car, right? The cost is whopping 597,700 racing dollars. And the PR is gonna go from 50.9 stock to fully upgraded 62.9. But anyway, so there are 8 days still remaining, so this limited time series should run through October 14th, Monday, for those of you on the Eastern Hemisphere. And for those of us who are on the Western Hemisphere, it's gonna be the Sunday, the 13th, right? So still have, plenty of time to run through. If you don't own this car, then, I believe you can get like 75% completion while still netting gold in this event. So it's something to keep in mind. So here, enough of me yapping about it. Let's jump in, right? Earn a 2012 Lamborghini Aventador LP 400-4 by 100% completing this special limited time series. With its striking design and the power of V12 engine, the Aventador has become as iconic as the Murcielago before it. Right. So it looks like Lambo. Yeah. Enough said, right? So the 25 total gold is broken down into, yes, 25% increment, the completion increment. So yeah, first 25% gets you whopping 2 gold. Yeah, yes. So not a whole lot that of gold on this. In terms of gold reward, there's obviously not much. But if you already own this car with enough upgrades, that's still a few extra free gold in a way that you can just pick up. So something to keep in mind. And on this, I'm using this my third account here, because this account I do not own this car, so that way we can work out the upgrade tree together here. So I'm going to, as always, use the gold to complete this series right away. So the total reward is, as I said, 25 gold and some 100,000 racing dollars. And you get to win the car, a bright yellow, right? That's a bold Lamborghini color. Anyway, and this should unlock quite a few bonus series, such as the first one, Battle Italia, which, by the way, how do you get that? It's gonna be all in elite section, most of them. This should unlock multiple series, right? Because it's in, All-Star Vendetta is another one. And then this car is also featured in a couple of more the small box bonus series. I think I already have those unlocked, so it might not. Oh no, never mind. So Burning Rubber is another series, bonus series in the elite section. And another one, no. So there are 4 bonus series this car is featured in. So you know what, while we're at it, let's talk about that real quick. So if we go into elite section, first of all, it is featured in the main career series Vanguard Challenge here. If you want a 100% complete Vanguard Challenge, you're gonna need obviously every car in the series because it's a main career section of your game. There are those showcase events, right? Which means you have to own the car, you know. So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, High Rev Rush is one of the bonus series this car is featured in. And let's see what else. Battle Italia, we saw that one earlier, so that one's another one. And then Burning Rubber, yes. So that is so far, I think that's it in Elite section, right? Yeah, so that was 1, 2, 3 bonus series and a main career series in Elite section. And we also saw All-Star Vendetta, which is in Legend section of your career. And yes, it is just a bonus series, but you know, it is there for you to take this car out on the track and race against others. So that's all good. And this car can, I guess, in terms of PR wise, because this car's maximum PR goes up to what, let's see, 60, I wrote this down earlier, 62.9. The series that this car has high enough PR to complete are gonna be All-Star Vendetta. You can do it as long as you own the other cars. You know, the PR requirement for that is below what you can do with Aventador, so that's a good thing. And in Elite section, there are only one series that this car is gonna be the sort of a top dog in the series, and that is going to be this one, Battle Italia. So it's gonna be either Aventador or F12 Berlinetta, the Ferrari, but Aventador, I believe, is cheaper option of the two. So if you don't own it, you know, limited time series, always good way to do it. Although in this case, it's a little funky because obviously limited time series has PR requirement, right? And they say, what is the requirement here? They say we need 62.3. So final tier, right? Tier 15. We got Cup at Spa, 3-lapper. And yes, base PR is 50.9, and there are 24 upgrades available, and the PR requirement is 62.3. So that is good, like 11.4 PR points exactly, right? So let's see, because this is an older car, most upgrades are racing dollars, which is kind of nice. Final tier upgrades are generally just gold only. So here we go. We got 1 hour wait on this first tier upgrades here. So starting with engine, 31,800, so not terribly expensive either. So let's get this going and see where we end up. Drivetrain, and I guess PR boost isn't all that great either. We're only getting half a point boost, right? So anyway, it's another 1 hour racing dollar upgrade, of course, 29,500 for drivetrain. Body 23,500 and 0.4 PR point boost there. Next category, suspension, another 0.5 PR point boost for 27,100 racing dollars. And exhaust, nice, right? 0.7 PR point boost. That's more like it, right? 26,800 racing dollars. And there are only 2 upgrades in exhaust in this car. Anyway, and then go on to brakes. We got 20,700 racing dollars for that one. And then final category, tires and wheels. We get 0.5 PR point boost for 24,900 racing dollars. So we're starting at 50.9, and let's get those. Well, upgrades done with gold right away and see where we end up. And that brings our PR up to 54.5. So let's see, 54.5. That makes the PR boost up 3.6. All right, good to know. And let's go on to the next tier, which should be all racing dollars in this car. Now it's 2.5 hours, and the engine, we got another 0.5 PR point boost here for 47,600. All right. And drivetrain, we got 44,300, another 0.5 PR point boost. And body's always a little lower, isn't it? Yep, 0.4 PR point boost for 35,200 racing dollars. Suspension, 0.5, yep. And 40,600 racing dollars. So just so you know, obviously we only have 2 upgrades and exhaust in this car, so the usual 3 upgrades across the board isn't going to work in this case. But even the final, yeah, look at that, second tier, the upper tier upgrade on exhaust, still racing dollars, which is pretty nice. And we get a nice 0.7 PR point boost. Look at that, that's always nice. And the next category, we got brakes, 31,100 racing dollars. And tires and wheels, 37,300 for another 0.5 PR point boost. So that is once again all racing dollar upgrades. And let's find out what kind of PR boost we get. So we're starting at 54.5, and that brings our PR up to 58.1. So if I punch that in there, what do we get? 58.1. And that's another 3.6 PR point boost from 54.5. All right. So let's see. Next tier, we're gonna start, well, when there are more upgrades available, they're gonna be racing dollars, like the first 3 categories: engine, drivetrain, and body. But the remaining categories where you have only one more, the final 3rd tier upgrades are gonna be gold. So this is a bit of a mixed bag here. So let's start with engine, which is 71,500 racing dollar upgrade, 4-hour upgrade time now, right? And we get another 0.5 PR point boost. That's kind of a pattern, isn't it? All right. And then drivetrain should be also racing dollars, 66,500, another 4 hours as you would expect, another 0.5 PR point boost there. And then the last racing dollar upgrade available on this car, I believe, is going to be this body upgrade, 52,800 racing dollars for just 0.4 PR point boost. And then remaining categories are going to be all gold upgrades here. So for example, yeah, 16 gold for suspension, brakes for 12, and tires and wheels 15. So they're not expensive, but you know, it's gold. So before we put gold upgrades on this car, let's see where how far the PR goes up to with the racing dollar upgrades first, right? So that brings the PR up to 59.5. So we started at 58.1, so that is just what, 1.4 PR point boost, but that's only 3 upgrades, right? And then let's confirm and make sure that that was the last racing dollar upgrade here, right? Drivetrain, yep. Yep, body. Yep. So now we are left with only gold upgrades. Right. So the limit of your racing dollar upgrade is, how many upgrades do I have right now? 17 upgrades with a PR 59.5. And quickly, let's find out how far that takes us. Obviously, we cannot do 100% completion, but if you can get past tier 11 and do win a single gold trophy in tier 12, you should be able to claim 75% completion, right? So what's the PR requirement for tier 11 cup? And it is 59.6. So we are just 0.1 PR point shy of what's necessary. But I wonder if this is going to be one of those cases where, as long as you match the integer part of the PR requirement, which obviously we are with racing dollar upgrades, that is 17 upgrades total, maybe that would be enough to get us the 75% completion, which is worth 15 gold. So that's not for nothing if you're not spending any gold, right? But yeah, so let's go back to the last tier and see what do we actually need for 100% completion. So we need to go up another, I don't know, some 2.8 PR points, right? So the second tier upgrades are going to be the cheapest one. Now, normally, like when you are at third tier upgrade and you got 2 more in the new cars, that fourth tier gold upgrade is going to be like unlocking the final tier racing dollar upgrade. But these older cars, that's not the case. All final upgrades are just gold. So you know, that's that. No way around that. So I think I prefer that versus, last one being racing dollars, which means you have to kind of pay the entry fee with a gold in order to unlock that racing dollar upgrade, right? Which is almost like a freebie if you've been playing for a while, because you typically have access racing dollars. So alright, so engine is 28, drivetrain is 26. They're all in 20s for these fourth tier upgrade. 22. And by the way, they're except for engine, everything else is the last upgrade now. So, and then of course last engine upgrade is gonna be pretty expensive. You just know those things, right? So let's check. Suspension is in the teens, 16, brakes 12, and tires and wheels 15. So let's get those. So suspension brings our PR up to 60 even. Brakes bring up to 60.5, 412, and tires and wheels 61, 415. So we're at 61. We need 1.3 PR point more, and the trend has been each upgrade gives us about half a PR point, except for the exhaust, which we are done with. So it's most likely the scenario is going to require us to get one more upgrade on all the categories, which basically means you have to upgrade almost the car almost entirely fully upgraded, right? So far, how much gold have I spent? I spent 43, right, in those cheaper categories. So 16 for suspension it was, and brakes was 12, and tires and wheels 15. So yes, let's see. The body's the cheapest one, 22 more gold, and that's gonna bring the PR up by 0.4 points. So, and that's done. And then the drivetrain is gonna get us up to 61.9. So you can see where this is getting to, right? 426 gold. All right. And then finally engine's gonna get us, yeah, 62.4. So we're gonna end up with an extra PR point for our 28 gold. And the final gold upgrade here in engine is 44 gold. As I was saying, it does that. Tier 4 did not unlock racing dollar upgrade. It just unlocks another gold upgrade. So yeah, that is total cost of 119 gold, isn't it? You don't obviously need this final engine upgrade on this car, so you pretty much need to get almost all upgrades except for that comparatively speaking more expensive 44 gold worth last engine upgrade. That's one that you don't need to get, but otherwise you need everything else for the total cost of 119 gold. And of course you get 25 of it back, which means net cost is 94 gold, right? And in terms of racing dollars wise, let's see, the total is 375,100 racing dollars that you spent, and you get 100,000 of it back. So yeah, I guess if you don't have this car, or if you're fairly early in the game, then that may be a little bit on the expensive side as well. It's a possibility, right? So perhaps that is something that you'd like to know. Alright, so I'll have the full, like, the upgrade tree in the description box, as I have been doing for quite a few limited time series now. So if you're curious about it, you can check that out. But now let's run through and see what the series is like. So we'll do a quick overview here. We got endurance at Porsche test track at the beginning, and head-to-head at Hockenheim National should be a single lap. It is. And Brands Hatch Cup, 4 laps. And first tier, of course, there's no PR requirement. And tier 2, we got Hunter at Nurburgring Mühlenbachschleife, and Elimination at Circuit of the Americas National, and the Cup at the Brickyard Road Course, 2 laps. And this one is going to have a PR requirement of 52.8, which means you do need at least some of those first tier upgrades, which is racing dollars, just a quick 1 hour upgrade. So shouldn't be too bad, shouldn't slow you down all that much. And tier 3, yes, your car might be in red at this point. By the way, how long is the service time on this car? It is 3 hours and 15 minutes, so that is a little longer than what we're used to, isn't it? Typically all the cars have been 3 hours long. But anyway, tier 3, we got Speed Snap. The reason why I mentioned that, of course, is when you have a drag race, yeah, it can be a mess if your car is in critical condition. And then anyway, so point being, you might need to service the car fairly early on. We'll see. And although, yeah, the high lap counts does concern me. So 4 laps, cup race at Monza Junior course, and PR requirement is 53.9. Alright, and tier 4 for whopping 2 gold reward of 25% completion. We got autocross at Laguna Seca, speed record at Catalunya Club. That event at that track, not terribly challenging usually, right? Target isn't terribly high unless Fire Monkeys programmed this event to run similar to the last limited time series for F40 LM. That one had some fast bots sprinkled throughout the series, so we'll see if we come across anything similar to that in this one. Anyway, to complete the tier 4, we got Cup at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix, 2 laps with the PR requirement of 54.8. So that is just higher than first tier racing dollar upgrades, because that one was 54.5, but considering that second tier upgrades are all racing dollars as well, it's not a big deal. And also the reward in return is not all that big deal either, right? Just 2 gold. Yes, don't spend all of it at once, right, as they say. Okay, moving on. Tier 5, we got Hunter at Berlin, Speed Snap at Melbourne, which is one of the easier speed snaps, I think. And the cup is going to be at Daytona Motorcycle Course, 2 laps, most likely rolling start, PR requirement of 55.5. Alright, next tier, tier 6, we got Endurance at the Grand Prix section of Circuit of the Americas, and Elimination at Bathurst, Mount Panorama, and the cup at Bugatti Circuit, 2 laps with the PR requirement of 56.3. Nothing special there, other than Mount Panorama. I think the first hell corner is close enough to the starting point that you should be able to reach that within first 20 seconds of being eliminated, right? So it should be doable. And then tier 7, we got Autocross at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix, head to head at Spa, single lap, and the cup is going to be at Laguna Seca, triple lapper with the PR requirement of 57. Alright, now 57 is with the second tier racing dollar upgrades, your PR should be up to 58.1. And let's see if this ends up being, at least the organization of like how far you can reach, ends up being similar to the previous more newer car limited time series, because usually the second tier upgrades get you to tier 9 and tier 10 is where we get stuck. But considering this one has a bit different upgrade tree with lots of racing dollar upgrades, you know, they might have a slightly different configuration. Anyway, so tier 8 we got drag race, so you know what that means nowadays. Might require service again, right? So that is a second time your car may need service, assuming that bot training is working. And then we got endurance at Hockenheim Grand Prix, and the cup is going to be at Dubai Grand Prix, 2 laps with the PR requirement of 57.6. all right, so, and let's see, tier 9 we've got Speed Snap at the dynamic circuit section of Leipzig Circuit, Porsche Test Track. So that's one of the, also that one at the dynamic circuit, and Melbourne probably is one of the 2 of the easiest Speed Snap events, I think. In fact, all Speed Snap at Porsche Test Track is kind of easy. The biggest challenge is keeping the margin of victory small. You don't want to come out too far ahead. Anyway, then we got speed record at Silverstone National, which, well, you would have serviced the car in tier 8, so I'm assuming you'd be running with the car in good condition. So speed record at Silverstone National shouldn't be too much of a challenge, because depending on the target, target usually is relatively high on Silverstone National because of that. Is that Wellington Straight? Yeah, right? Or is that I cannot remember. Right, the International is the one that has the Hangar Straight. So, yeah, speed record at Silverstone can be tricky if your car is unserviced, but with the serviced car, it should be fine. The Cup at Monza Road Course, 2 laps, PR requirement 58.3, so that's nothing special there. And then tier 10 elimination at Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course. It's an elimination. I think we should be able to reach the first bend before the 20-second countdown runs out, before the first elimination with the Aventador. Yeah, And then we got a full lap Hunter at the 24-hour circuit, so that's gonna be a lengthy one. And then we got a Grand Prix Suzuka Cup, 2 laps with the PR requirement of 58.9. So yeah, that is where you need the 3rd tier upgrades. I mean, at least 3 racing dollar upgrades, right? Was it 3? Yeah, 3. Yes. Because that brings your PR up to 59.5, which is the maximum PR with the racing dollar upgrades alone. So that is good enough for getting through tier 10, but that doesn't really bear much meaning, right? It all depends whether we can get past the tier 11 with the same PR of 59.5. So tier 11, we got autocross at Daytona Road Course, head-to-head at Mount Panorama, single lap. And the cup is going to be at Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix, 2 laps, lots of double lap Grand Prix. And this one, as we checked in earlier, has the PR requirement of 59.6. So this is going to be interesting if we can reach or get past this tier with racing dollar upgrades alone, like 59.5. You know what I mean? Alright, so for that one, you'll have to just stay tuned. I will see. I'll try to run through and see what happens. But obviously, it's tier 11, and at the pace that I run through these things across 3 accounts, you know, it takes me a while. So anyway, tier 12, you see drag race, you know what that means. We need service. Endurance, we got Red Bull Ring Grand Prix, and then Cup is going to be at Melbourne. 5 laps. All right, with the PR requirement up 60.2. So of course, at this point, you get some gold upgrades on your car. And then tier 13, Speed Snap at Catalunya National. That one I don't think is too bad either. And then Autocross at Bugatti Circuit. Yeah, that one's not too bad. That one. Where is the Autocross at Bugatti Circuit? I want to say it's at the earlier section of the track, isn't it? Yeah, because Speed Snap at Bugatti Circuit is at the end, I think. Anyway, then we got Cup at Nurburgring Grand Prix, triple lap with the PR requirement of 60.9. And tier 14, we got Elimination at Monza Road Course. Once again, I think that one you can reach the first chicane before the first elimination, so should be fine. And then we got Hunter at Suzuka Grand Prix, and to wrap up tier 14, we got Cup at the long road circuit of Porsche Test Track, 4 laps with the PR requirement up 61.5. And finally, the tier 15, last tier, we got head-to-head the road course section of Daytona, single lap, head-to-head, most likely rolling start, and endurance at Silverstone Grand Prix, and final Cup, as we looked at it earlier, triple lap Cup at Spa with the PR requirement of 62.3, which is gonna cost us some, what was it, 119 gold, right? So there you have it. And apparently there are 3 days remaining on the track day to start. So if you haven't done it, remember there's a free gold to be won in that event, even if you decide to go all out and, you know, spend a bunch of gold to upgrade the car high enough with the racing dollar upgrades alone. You know, just a little public service announcement there. But anyway, so that does it for this limited time series overview. This one's a little bit more complicated because of the fact that it's an older car, right? So all right, good luck, and we'll see you in the next video. All right, take care, guys.